Hey guys, welcome back. Timber2 here today. Can you believe it? Look at this. This is like a real setup. I can walk all the way over here. I can walk all the way over here. Still in frame. We got good audio. Shouldn't echo too bad. The lighting is beautiful. I've done it. I've really ascended today. But today, we're going to talk about a little bit of Batman. Hopefully you're a Batman fan. I'm actually not the biggest Batman fan. Of course, I like the Christopher Nolan movies. But since then, it's kind of been a bit of a stinker. But right now, it's a good time to be a Batman fan. And we're not talking about the movie. We're talking about a pair of games today. Now, with the movies, of course, we're going to talk about it just a little bit. We've been kind of stuck with Batfleck, Martha.
Why did you say that?
And then Robert Twilight walks in, and he's like, and maybe we have a good movie on our hands. There's a very high probability. But again, we're not talking about the movies. It is a great time to be a Batman fan, not only because of the film, but also because there's two games. Two games. That's more than one game. In 2021, we have a game, and in 2022, we have a game. But what we're talking about today is the studios and sort of what to expect. And if you haven't heard about these games, if you've had your head in the sand and you missed the DC thing last week, now you'll be caught up. So before we can look ahead to these upcoming Batman games, a little history lesson, if you will. There are two studios that pump out Batman games from Warner Brothers, one of which is sort of held slightly higher than the other. And the first game of all the Batman, Arkham games was Asylum. And you had Rocksteady over here working on Asylum. Great reviews. And then came along Eidos Montreal, Warner Brothers Montreal. And they started working on City. And so both of them are doing City. And then Rocksteady kept pumping out the classics, and Montreal made Origins. Now, Origins isn't that bad. It's fine. It's a fine game. But people don't really like Origins as much as they like all the stuff Rocksteady's done. So Rocksteady is sort of hailed as like the better Batman games. And I might be wrong with this, but that's just sort of what I've gathered. So Rocksteady pumped out all these, while Eidos Montreal has only made City in collaboration with Rocksteady, and then Origins on their own. So they've only done the two, while one of which was with them. Rocksteady's done a good amount so far, including the most recent one, which was Night. Night had its flaws, the Batmobile being the main one, but overall, still I'd say one of the best. It's definitely up there, and they've been improving. Now flash forward to 2021, and we have a game coming from Eidos Montreal. Now, it's a Batman game in the Arkham universe. As far as I can tell, it's the same Batman. But the catch is that he's dead.
If you're watching this, I'm dead.
Now, say what you will, I assume he's not actually dead. I'm saying most likely he's with the Court of Owls, or he's captured, or whatever, and he's going to be a big twist, and he'll come out at the end and unlock as a playable character, or some such thing. You can't make a Batman game without Batman, but let's just say that they did. Now, the game is being marketed as Batman is Dead, and it is a co-op game where you can play as one of four characters. It's not only co-op, you can play it entirely on your own as well. But they're reaching for a co-op. They're trying to bring this as a co-op Batman game, which in the previous titles you've been able to play as Catwoman, Robin Hood, or... did I say Robin Hood? Nightwing and all kinds of characters. But this one's being pushed as you can either play as Red Hood, Batgirl, Robin, or Nightwing. So you have four characters to choose from, but from what I heard from the gameplay, it's 1 to 2 player co-op, which is a little strange.
An important goal for Gotham Knights was that players can play all of the game, either solo or in 2-player co-op.
I thought it would be 1 to 4, so maybe the guy misspoke in the gameplay and it actually is 1 to 4 player. Let's just assume it is. So each of you can be one of these people that is not Batman, but acts a lot like Batman. Now, this isn't an unheard of thing. Of course, where have I heard of a 4-player co-op superhero game and it's sort of like a looter and you level up? That's reminding me of some other game by some other franchise. But this one, of course, is open world, so it's different than the Avengers game. And I was very intrigued by the premise. Batman's dead, you get to play as these other people. A lot of people are put off by that, like, no Batman, it's not a Batman game. But for me, I think, that's pretty cool that they're doing something different. because we've had a good amount of Batman games now. And I think they're also, recognizing that the Spider-Man game kind of does everything that the Batman game did, but better. Now, some people would be offended by me saying that, which is fine. Some people just like Batman more. But I think just factually, gameplay-wise and just the way the game is set up, I think the Spider-Man one just works better. Now, that's not to say the Batman ones are bad. I think they're fine. But I think maybe they wanted to just step away from that and just kind of go a new way, and they've done the co-op. And like I said, I was totally on board until I saw the gameplay. Now, I don't want to shit on early alpha gameplay because I know that changes, obviously. But this is the only gameplay we've seen. This is what we were given, so this is what I'm going to look at. Now, it's not to say that it's bad. I think it's fine. But I just kind of don't like the direction that it's took. And the main put-off for me is not the co-op or that it's Robin and Batgirl or that the dialogue is a little forced and not that good, at least from Batgirl. It's that they've kind of level-gated and RPG-ized the whole thing. And it's just been too much of that lately, and I think that that's the main thing that people have been complaining about Ubisoft doing with games like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. People, including myself, are just put off of Far Cry completely with this RPG mechanic where, this area of the map has people that are level 30, and if you're only level 10, you can go there with your gun and shoot this guy in the head 20 times. But guess what? He's level 30, so the bullets are just going to hit him in the head, do 4 damage, and his health bar is going to go down that much. That's not fun. Level gating an area. I'm supposed to be fucking Nightwing. I'm supposed to be able to just bust in and beat some thugs. Everyone already knows the Arkham games take like 18,000 hits to kill somebody. I don't also want it to take another 200 hits because he happens to be 3 levels higher than me. I don't want to be not allowed in, North Gotham because North Gotham is level 30 only. That's not really fun. I don't like that RPG sort of reach they're going for where I can't tell if it's a looter or not. I'm assuming there's got to be some sort of gear and loot mechanic if it's going to have leveling. So really, again, it's almost the Avengers game. It's almost Assassin's Creed. It's almost all these other games. Witcher. Everything's trying to be The Witcher now. And I just don't like the look of it from a gameplay perspective. I liked the Arkham games how they were. I think they would work better without this level gating. You can still have hard enemies and weaker enemies. You don't need to have this sort of level system. I just am not impressed by the gameplay in that sense. It looks like Destiny but punching. It looks like Ass Avengers, and it doesn't interest me. But then I saw Rocksteady's game. Now, Rocksteady's is 2022, and it's still, I guess, a Batman game. It's just as much a Batman game as this one is, because neither one has Batman. But this one is Suicide Squad. It's actually called Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, something like that. And I guess the premise, all they've given us is a cinematic trailer. The premise is, again, 4-player co-op. Each of you play as Harley, Deadshot, Boomerang, and this shark guy that I don't know his fucking name. But each of you plays one of them. It's 4-player co-op. And I guess the premise is you're killing the Justice League. It's like the Justice League Dark. It's like they've gone evil, something like that. It's Dark Superman. It's Evil Superman. That's all they've shown us. But you could also imagine that would fill in with Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, Manhunter, etc. So those would be like the main pillar bosses, I guess, with Superman being the end, or all of them, or something. Again, all we have is a cinematic. And sure, the cinematic is bright and flashy, which I do like. It's not as dark as the Arkham games. And it is confirmed to be in the Arkham universe. But it looks much more ahead, and again, it's just cinematic. There's not much you can really tell. But it's much brighter, flashy, goofy. It's that Suicide Squad thing. And if you know anything about me and my movie taste, Suicide Squad is actually my least favorite movie ever made on this planet, and one of the worst films that was ever put in front of humanity's eyes. But the new Suicide Squad film by James Gunn, that's coming down the line, actually looks very promising and really good. So by the time it's 2022, most people might actually like the Suicide Squad. Hopefully they'll forget the old one, and maybe, we'll be in a good place, and Rocksteady's game will knock it out of the park. But who really knows? They're both these off-brand, Batman without Batman, co-op instead of single player, but also can be done alone. And when you do something like that, you sort of lose the razor-focused experience that you have with single player only games where you have a set experience and you beat by beat and you get to the end. With co-op, it starts to get a little muddy. And this isn't to say that both can't be good or that one is going to be better than the other or that Montreal can't pump out a good game just like Rocksteady can. I'm sure they both can. But for me right now, Rocksteady's is looking promising. It's in 2022. We have no gameplay, so I have nothing to go off of. But Eidos Montreal's Gotham Knights is looking a little weak. I didn't even say it was called Gotham Knights. But I don't know. I don't know whether it would be good or bad. I just think it looks a little rough, and as a premise, might fall flat. I guess that's it for me. We're just talking about Batman. I probably should have worn a brighter color because I have Batman behind me this whole time. It's probably really dark. But hopefully you guys could see. And hopefully you guys like the new setup. I don't know. I mean, I think a video like this is pretty cool, right? I can do like video essay videos about games and I can walk around and show you guys graphics and pop-ups and whatever. And I hope you enjoyed. So 2 Batman games, 2021 and 2022 for the other one. Rocksteady in 22, Eidos Montreal in 21. Both have made good Batman games before. Both could make good Batman games again. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. If it wasn't for you guys, stuff like this, I couldn't even do it. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it. You can get at me on Discord and in the comments. I read all the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. It helps more than you know. And liking and commenting also really helps. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. See you in the next one. Bye. Pumping out classics in the Batmobile going bashing. Such a long time.